Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me Kagam. Oh my gosh, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time for more Hermes shenanigans. I really hope that you're ready. Let me just get straight into it. There are a bunch of crazy Hermes stories, and then I want to tell you guys my Hermes wish list very specifically. So yeah, here we go. The first story is from Palo Alto again. Hermes Palo Alto strikes again, okay? Breaking people's hearts and driving people completely doolally, and people are going barking mad. So this woman is talking about her experience at Palo Alto and saying that the previous year she scored 2 bags and a special order. And then now she's like, you know, like they're not trying to check for her, they're not calling her back, and that's a massive critique of the Palo Alto boutique. Many people say that, you know, they won't call you back and all this. So she's like, what's going on? Have I been B-listed? I can't say the word itself, okay, because I'm not trying to have my account striked. YouTube has a lot of words that they don't want you to say in your videos. That's one of them. I don't have an issue with the word per se. But yeah, here we go. So she thinks that she has been B-listed from Hermes. In other words, has she been cancelled? Has she been dropped? Okay. And yeah, so I thought we should talk about this because I thought it was extremely interesting. This is what I think. In her situation, one of 2 things has started. Number one, she probably at this point has been dropped, because why would you, like, you know, be able to order 2 bags the previous year and a special order? That means that she's spending money. Clearly this client has money, so money isn't the issue. But clearly something has happened. So I think that she's either been dropped, or there's a problem maybe with that particular sales associate, and maybe her sales associate left and then someone else has come. These types of stories are not uncommon, where people are like top dogs at a boutique and then the tide turns and then all of a sudden they can't get a pull bag, you know, they can't get a bag and all this. I feel like in her case, the way I was reading this, because obviously we're just speculating because it's fun to speculate, but I feel like in this particular case, this person maybe, let's just say it now, has probably been caught reselling and there's a mark against their name. That doesn't mean that it's right or it's wrong. I know there's some of you Team Hermes who come for me in the comments again. You're like, oh, C19 this. After I read Hermes's like 6-month report, I will never allow anyone to excuse Big H, okay, as I'm calling her at the moment, for saying that they don't have bags. Hermes have plenty of bags with a Z, okay? If you are like this person, you bought 2 bags, to my knowledge, if you can buy 3 bags in 1 year, it means you're basically like a VIP or a big spender. That means that you have annoyed them and you have done something, okay, to be taken out of their good graces. Remember how I did that video about Louis Vuitton blocking you or banning you and putting you on a B list, okay, if you buy too much stuff and then they won't sell products to you? I think Hermes probably do stuff like that as well. It's just not as well documented as LV's approach to things. So when I saw this, my first reaction to this was, she's absolutely been dropped, okay? There's no way you can go from ordering like a special order bag to all of a sudden no one's calling you back, no one's checking for you, no one cares what's popping with you. Obviously something's happened, and that's not necessarily to blame this particular client. Maybe she is having a tough time with sales associates and whatnot. If I'm this person, I would just think that something's wrong and maybe I have been put on some sort of list, and I would try and get in the good graces of, you know, Big H again. Or if I can't get Big H to like me in that particular location, I would go find another boutique. Now, I've told you, many of you before, you all know I live in Tanzania. There are no Big H boutiques on the African continent yet. We're hopeful maybe one day we'll see the orange boxes in Africa. But some of you have even told me, like, oh my gosh, you know, some of you have even told me that you're in a similar situation to me. Like, you live in a country that has Big H boutiques, but you can't get to a Big H store because you live 5 hours away or you live 6 hours away. I mean, that is not going to be easy to like make relationships with sales associates. That's why if you're in a situation like mine, or if you live very far away from a boutique, you have to go, you know, go gamble in Paris, try your luck and see if you can get an appointment. I think in this particular case, I feel bad for the client because I'm like, I would hate to be in that kind of situation. But at the same time, the client needs to think, have I done anything to annoy Big H? We all know how much Big H hates reselling. If you're going to resell your bags, do it quietly, okay? Like a silent assassin. Take it easy. Don't be public with the way you do stuff. Another thing that got me thinking about this particular client, and that it was making me paranoid, is that maybe this client is a social media influencer, a blogger, or has a page, and maybe Big H thinks that you're trying to like resell through your socials. I do think that Hermes really does look at social media more than we think, and I think that they try and pretend they're so cool and unbothered and unpressed, but Hermes really do follow. And I know this because I'm in this one Facebook group where people have whispered that they feel like there are like Hermes essays who are spying basically on that group. And I was like, listen, okay, if you are like the people in the group who keep talking about how you got this offer and you're going to sell this bag, don't be surprised if things start slowing down for you in the boutique. You know, that can happen. And that's not that far-fetched. I know it sounds a little bit like, okay, now you're really overthinking it. No, I'm not. Hermes are known for like following social media. We've all heard crazy stories about Hermes and how they know what's going on social media more than we think, even though I feel like Hermes feels like social media is beneath the brand, but at the end of the day, social media is not beneath anybody, okay? Royals, kings, queens, princes, princesses, dukes and duchesses, you see what I did there? They're all on social media. So Hermes can chill out and get over themselves in that regard. I think this client is in trouble. I would be super upset if I put in a special order and then the next year no one is calling me back. And I'll be like, you lot are hating on me, okay? You're hating on my special order bag. I remember in one video, I think I mentioned a while ago, I talked about how a YouTuber had said that someone got grassed on basically in this group. Someone grassed on a VIP client for selling their bags, and then they got dropped at their local Hermes boutique. I do think stuff like that happens, which to me is so cutthroat in order to purchase a leather bag, but it still fascinates me. I would love to know what you think about this story. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit notifications, make sure you're talking to me in the Premier chat as well. I can't wait to know what you guys think about this story. The next story is from Amsterdam in the Netherlands. I know I have a few people in the Netherlands who watch my videos. Hi guys, okay. Amsterdam looks amazing, but the Hermes boutique in Amsterdam is extremely competitive. I thought this was a very interesting tidbit. It just reinforces what we know about Amsterdam. So if you are not familiar with the Amsterdam boutique, I have done videos about this particular store before. I have read up so much about this store, and the general gist is this: Hermes Amsterdam do not like to sell Birkins, Kellys or Constances if you are not local to the boutique. And there have been some people on social media that have said if you cannot speak Dutch specifically, you will not get a bag. You know, it is what it is. Like, every Hermes store has its own vibe, its own flavor. If you have met people from the Netherlands, I have lots of Dutch friends. Dutch people are multilingual. They speak Dutch, they speak English and another European language. So at the end of the day, if you're an Anglophone going into the Hermes Amsterdam boutique and you can't speak Dutch, they can, you know, probably speak English to you. But they're like, you know what, you're not a local client. Why should we give you, okay, a coveted Birkin, Kelly or Constance when we could give that to our local clientele? I think it just proves how competitive Hermes Amsterdam is. And if you read this review, I think what she's alluding to is the fact that she said that she brought a rodeo with her to show them. So obviously rodeos go with bags. Most people are going to use their rodeos for Hermes bags, okay? So they were like, you know, go try somewhere else. You're better off trying somewhere else, not here. So I think that if you live like near a store like this, or if you're a tourist going to a boutique like this, it's probably just not even worth trying to get a quota bag, because obviously they just want to sell it to locals. So either you're Dutch or you live in Amsterdam and you've been living there forever and you obviously have a history at the boutique, then they're probably going to sell you a bag, but they're not going to sell a bag to tourists. And they've made that clear over and over again. I kind of love the thug life energy of this boutique, okay? The Amsterdam boutique is like, guess what, okay? They're on their Tupac energy. They believe in themselves. They're pure thug life. You have to respect it. Even if you don't like it deep down, you have to respect it. The next story is from Georges V, one of the top 3 Parisian boutiques for big Hermes. And this story to me is just like so indicative of what's going on with Big H at the moment. So a lot of people in general on Instagram and Facebook have been complaining that they have been finding it really, really hard to score bags at any of the 3 boutiques and also to even get appointments. So this client got an appointment and then the appointment request was cancelled. And I think that has happened to a lot of people. Like, a lot of people have said that. So many of you are like, oh, just go to Paris. You know, Paris is not, okay, a cash machine for like Hermes bags. It's not like you take your debit card or your credit card, you put it in the cash machine, okay, and then out comes a Constance or a Kelly or a Birkin. That's not how it works. Now, I was reading a few groups on Facebook, you know what I'm doing, you know, always researching, always like looking around like Inspector Gadget, see what's going on. And someone said that like right now, there are more than 6,000 daily appointment requests. Like an essay in one of the Parisian boutiques told a client that, and that person was telling everyone in the group that. And I'm like, whoa, more than 6,000. Now, I remember a few months ago, I told you it was like around 4,000 a day. Now it's like more than 6,000 a day. It's probably going to be even worse in November and of course October and of course December because of Christmas. So the fact that, you know, that this person, doing what they need to do, applied and then canceled the appointment, yeah, that would make me so upset. And then here in the review, it's a man actually, and he was like, you know, it's like applying for a loan, and he's spot on. It is, and I've said it before. It's like you as the client are auditioning, and it's completely like applying for a loan. He's completely right. It's like going to the bank and trying to get a mortgage on your property. Like, you need to get your financials in order. You need to literally ask the bank to believe in you. But at least with that, you're getting a mortgage for your shelter to keep you safe, okay? Whereas with Hermes, this is for a leather handbag, okay? I think I'm messaging a little bit too much. And I have heard about a lot of moodiness in the Parisian boutiques at the moment. There is a review, but I can't find the screenshot, sorry. And I think it is of one of the 3 boutiques, Faubourg, Sèvres, and Georges V. And it's actually a French citizen who wrote the review in French and then Google translated it. But the gist of the review was, oh, you're not going to get offered a bag here if you're a French person. They will not offer you a bag. They only want to sell bags to people who are from Asia and Americans, which is so crazy because one of the biggest themes that a lot of us in the Anglophone Hermes world have seen is that if you're a francophone, so you're either French or you speak French, you're from Switzerland, you're from Quebec, the DRC in Africa, if you're a francophone person, there is a feeling that, you know, you'll walk into any of the 3 boutiques with an appointment and they'll offer you a bag because obviously there's no language barrier. You're just going to be speaking Francais and you're going to be speaking great and all of this. It was so fascinating to read that review and to see like a French person say that they felt like they couldn't get a bag because they weren't a tourist, basically. That's what they're saying. And I think that there are just so many differing experiences. Obviously, these 3 boutiques, they're going to have a lot of tourist trade, but that's not to say that there isn't local demand. There's absolutely local demand. And one time I did search for like French language content about Hermes, and there are lots of French groups for Hermes. There are many French-speaking Hermes clients around the world, okay? Not just in France, like around the world. So this idea that it's only people who speak English who are going to be offered bags, I don't know if it's true, but I want to say I validate this person's experience if they felt like that, because I've been, you know, we've all been in situations where we've been treated badly in stores, and it's a terrible feeling. To the fact that the person felt like they had to go on Google reviews and leave a review, you can tell that they felt upset. So I thought it was so interesting because there is this feeling that since C19, Hermes has really been trying to cater to local clients, and many French people have said that if you go to any of the 3 Parisian boutiques and you are French or you're a francophone, you're going to get your bag offer immediately. But this person says otherwise. So just sort of super interesting. I'd love to know what you guys think about that as well. If you're from France or you're a French-speaking person, what has your experience been in any of the 3 Parisian boutiques? I would love to know. Make sure that you like this channel, subscribe, and keep watching. Before I tell you my wish list, I want to talk to you guys about something that's really interesting. I got a message from one of you guys and you asked my opinion on something which has been happening in a lot of Facebook groups and Instagram pages and things like that. There is this kind of new phenomenon where people ask you for money to connect you with an essay, okay? So you asked me my opinion, I told you, but I think it's worth kind of opening it up to you guys as well. I'd love to know your opinions on this. Let me be clear on where I stand. If you do this, I'm not personally attacking you, I just think it's unethical. I think it's wrong and unethical to charge someone money to connect them with a sales associate. That is nonsense, okay? That is completely nonsense. I've told you guys before, if you want to support my channel by using affiliate links, you can. If you don't want to, I don't really mind, to be honest. Everyone can go and do whatever it is that they want to do. But I feel like people don't understand that when you use an affiliate link, it doesn't become more expensive for you to purchase something. Why would you go and pay someone extra money for connecting you to an SA when you can walk, if you live close to boutique, you can walk into any Chanel store and go find yourself an SA. There are a lot of Chanel clients who have multiple SAs. That's also a new hot trend. I would love to know what you guys think about that, because I think that is so unethical and I think it's completely wrong. And I think that if you are trying to get money from someone to like connect them with an SA, you should like kind of be revisiting, why are you looking for Chanel bags if you're looking for some extra money to connect someone? Now, I would actually be the person that most people I think would want to do this to, because obviously I live in Tanzania. There are no Chanel boutiques here. And obviously in Africa, there are no Chanel boutiques. Well, in terms of ready to wear, there's some beauty boutiques in South Africa. But I just think it's wrong. I would never, ever give anyone money to, as a referral fee to link me to an SA. That's not even a guarantee of getting a bag. You know, I think we need to kind of slow down with this stuff. It's one thing to do luxury resell. If you're going to be a reseller, be a reseller. At least resellers are kind of clear on who they are, who they aren't. I was looking at one reseller account today for Hermes and Chanel, and the person was like, I'm not an SA, I'm a reseller. That's it. You know, it's very, very clear. So you know what you're getting yourself into. I think it's so unethical to do stuff like that. And that's kind of where the luxury community is starting to go wrong. This should be about mutually just like supporting and connecting together and helping each other. It shouldn't be about taking money from people. And to that point, in this other group, I saw someone asked if they could buy a quota bag from someone. Like, they asked if they could buy a quota bag at retail, and people were like, no. Okay. Now, a quota bag, to me, it's just quite strange. Like, a quota bag is obviously not going to go for retail unless there's like a personal relationship. I have never heard of someone selling a mint condition, brand new quota bag, okay, from Hermes at retail, unless it's like a close family friend or something like that. I've never really heard of that. I'd love to know what you think about that as well. Now I want to tell you guys my Hermes wish list for the next 18 months, starting now, autumn 2021 until December 2022. Why is my wish list so long? My wish list is long because Hermes don't really churn out a ton of product like Louis Vuitton or Chanel, so I can look more long term. So basically, this is where I'm at. I mentioned Hermes in my luxury wishlist video. I mentioned a few accessories and bits and pieces, so I won't repeat those. I'll just focus more on bags, but I wanted to kind of be very specific because I felt like in my luxury wishlist I was kind of rushing a little bit because I was worried that the video was long, so I wanted to go into more detail here. So this is what I would like to get. If I was to go to Paris tomorrow, and yes, I'm still trying to go to Paris, so whenever that happens, you guys will be the first to know. But if I was to go to Paris tomorrow, what would I buy? With a realistic budget, living on planet Earth. Don't forget, you know, I live in Tanzania. I have financial responsibilities here. I have my company, I've got my employees. I can't just go, you know, and spend, you know, tons and tons and tons of money at Hermes as much as I would love to. So realistically, what would I get in Paris? This is what would be a realistic approach. I would get a Kelly 25, okay? Kelly 28, Kelly 32. In my luxury wishlist video, I believe the colors I said were Rose, I think I said Rose Azalee, Rose Mexico, and Menthe. Those colors still stand. I'll put those colors up on the screen. So these are the colors that I like, but I'm also open-minded. I would definitely take a gray Kelly if it was offered. I probably wouldn't take a black Kelly because I think I mentioned on my wish list as well that I want to get a Fendi baguette in black, and I don't want to have like a lot of black handbags. If I put the Fendi baguette to the side and the Chanel Trendy CC that's coming in December with rose gold hardware, which will be black as well, I don't really want to have a lot of black handbags, as much as I love black handbags, because of course they're fab. So yeah, like I just said, so Kelly 25, Kelly 28, Kelly 32 in those colors in ostrich. I feel like ostrich would look best in those super beautiful vibrant colors like those three I just mentioned, but I think it would look nice in the Kelly 25 size or Kelly 28. I feel like Kelly 32, oh yeah, another color I like for the Kelly 32 as well is Rose Jaipur. That is also another color I would absolutely go for. So those three sizes for the Kelly. Ostrich obviously would be my top exotic if I could buy it in the Kelly. And then after the Kelly, I would say the Kelly Pachette. Now the Kelly Pachette comes in Swift, and then it comes in exotic leather as well. I have seen ostrich Kelly Pachettes, which were interesting to me. I don't know why, but for some reason I didn't like it on the Kelly Pachette. And of course there is the croc Kelly Pachettes, which are super expensive. I couldn't even find a retail price for those, and I'm pretty good at finding retail prices for most Hermes bags, but I couldn't find a retail price. I believe like the Kelly Pachette in Swift in the UK is just under £6,000 at retail if you were to get it from the store. So that kind of gives you an idea of how much it is. So in terms of the Kelly Pachette, I feel like realistically, I should be realistic and kind of, if I was to buy the Kelly 25 or 28 or 32 in ostrich, realistically, if I was to get a Kelly Pachette, it would have to be in Swift, because I feel like another exotic would just be so expensive as well. And then after that, I feel like I would kind of put a feeler for a mini Kelly. Now I know what you're thinking, you said you'd never buy mini Kelly, you said this and you said that. My feelings still stand, you know, but I was thinking about this the other day. I was like, even on Sundays when I go to mass with Edwin, you know, I don't go to church with like a massive handbag. You know, it could be like my church bag. It's really tiny and it's not really a big deal. I'm with my husband all the time, and it's not like when you're out and about all the time you'd be putting your phone everywhere. You could feasibly hold it in your hand. I understand I sound like a hypocrite, but the bag is so cute, it's so darling. I feel like it would be my wild card, okay? Let's say that things are going well, you can feel the energy in Faubourg, okay? You can feel it in Sevres. Maybe you could just ask. And I feel like for the mini Kelly, as much as I don't like blue, I do love blue broom. This is my favorite blue from Hermes. It's like, it's just this beautiful, it's a very cold blue that's very light at the same time. I absolutely love it. So maybe this, and of course any bright color, any of the pink colors. I think maybe even like Rouge de Coeur or Rouge Cassac. I do love their reds as well. Of course I love orange, which is called Feu at Hermes. So yeah, those would be basically the situation with the Kellys, like the Kelly family of bags in terms of my wish list. That is where I'm at, okay? And then moving forward, and by the way, for the mini Kelly, I believe the mini Kelly does come in croc, and I think it comes in lizard. Now, I don't remember the price for the croc mini Kelly, or I think, hold on, wait, I think the lizard or croc mini Kelly is something like 17,000 euros. I'm fine with that, because I know that the croc Birkins are just so expensive. I wouldn't be able to get a croc Birkin right now, because I think those are like, I think a croc Birkin or a croc Kelly, it's like 38,000 euros, 39,000 euros, even 40,000 euros going up at literally at retail. If I can find some prices, I'll put them up on the screen. So as you can see, it's not cheap. Okay, now let's go to the Birkin family. Now, what would I get if I was in Paris, and like I said, what's on my Hermes wish list for the next 18 months? When it comes to the Birkin, really my energies with the Kellys, but I would definitely love to get a Shadow Birkin in black. I feel like the Shadow is such a unique piece. Hermes really does get critiqued viciously, to be fair, for the fact that they're not like original. They don't come up with like trendy, cool, hot designs like Chanel. This is such a unique bag. It's so original, it's so unique, and it's so, I don't know, it's so different, and I love it. And I feel like this could absolutely be worked into your wardrobe. Even if you work somewhere where people know brands, I feel like very few people, unless you're an Hermes person, or unless you're into luxury products, would know the Shadow. I think the Shadow is very unique. I would definitely try for it if I was in Paris. I would definitely give it a crack and see if I could get it. Most of you, I know, are huge fans of Hermes's neutral colors, like Etain, Gold, Etude, Nata, Cray, etc. Those types of colors don't really work for the life we have here in Tanzania. They're very dark colors. The palette, the colors here, I mean, I'll put up a picture of a beach in Tanzania so you can see, like, our beaches look like this. You do need to have those very beautiful, vibrant, colorful, warm bags in your color palette, I think, in order to look kind of fresh and crisp and stylish here. Neutrals don't really work here, if you know what I'm saying. So I feel like what I've said, those are basically the bags I would be looking into. I would love to do a special order, but I think first I should be realistic. But getting a special order like straight away in Paris, I think is hard without a history. I think maybe on your second visit or your third visit, you could try for a special order. And then I think barring that, of course, like originally my dream was to go to Paris and to try and get a Birkin 25 in croc straight away off the bat. But I think ostrich is better for me at Hermes because I can easily go and buy a croc capucine at Louis Vuitton, and it's completely beautiful, and it's a beautiful croc leather, alligator leather, and it's not going to cost me, it's literally, I believe it's like literally half the price to buy it at Louis Vuitton, and it's still an exotic piece. So I feel like that's just me being more realistic for right now, because I'm also trying to buy a luxury car. I'd love to get a Mercedes G-Wagon or a Range Rover Evoque, whereas the Range Rover Evoque, even used in the UK, is like £30,000, £40,000. It's pretty much the cost, okay, of the Birkin in croc leather. I feel like it's just more realistic for me to be like, you know what, let me get myself a luxury car and I can buy a Kelly in the ostrich, as opposed to putting all of my money towards just buying a croc Birkin, if that makes sense. So I feel like a croc Birkin, I'm 35, maybe when I'm like a bit older, I can try for that. But for right now, I'd rather put my energy, when it comes to exotic leather, into ostrich at Hermes. That's not to say I wouldn't buy a croc bag in Paris, because you can just walk into Louis Vuitton and ask for a croc capucine, honey. Do you have a croc capucine for me? Do you have an alligator Louis Vuitton twist bag for me? They'll be like, yeah, here it is, pay us. That's it. Whereas in Hermes, there are all these games and shenanigans, and no one has time for that. So that is my very realistic Hermes wish list. I'd love to know what you think. I feel like my heart is like, I feel like you can tell my energy is really with the Kelly options, but I do like the Shadow Birkin. I think it's such a unique piece, and it's just very different and edgy, and I like that. I like that it's not, I don't want to look like everyone else. That's my thing. I don't want to be like everyone else, and no disrespect to you if you guys love neutrals. I like being different. I love bright colors. I love texture. I love exotic leather. I love how they make you look different, and I just love that. So I'd love to know what you guys think of my Hermes wish list in terms of the leather goods. I'm very curious. I feel like for example, a Kelly 25, Kelly 28, Rose Azalee ostrich, I feel like that's very doable for me. And I feel like if I was to go to Paris tomorrow, I could easily, if I could ask for it, that's something that's like doable for me, right? Whereas I feel like trying to buy like a croc Birkin or a croc Kelly would be that would just be a little bit of a stretch for me right now. So this is like me being realistic between now and like December. So at any point, basically, from going to Paris and seeing what could happen, I feel like it's just better to be realistic instead of having your head in the clouds and not being able to like achieve things. So like I said, ostrich Kellys, or the sort of standard leather Kellys, and then a Swift Kelly Pachette. I feel like I would love that in any really bright color, as long as it's not like a strong blue. You know how I feel about blue. And then a mini Kelly in exotic, I feel like would be amazing. And then the Shadow. Would love to know what you guys think of my choices. That's really where I stand now as it pertains to Hermes. And more importantly, I want to know what your luxury wish list at Hermes is. Are you like me? Are you going to be going to Paris soon? Is anyone going to Paris like next year, at the end of the year? Is anyone going to try and score? I heard that it's like really hard to score in December, and I heard that in January they're like no bags at all. I'd love to know what you think. Thank you so much for supporting my channel. By the way, I have a bonus video coming on Sunday, because there's more Chanel 21K shenanigans, okay, that you guys need to hear about. Normally I don't film videos on Sunday, but I'm going to have it for you guys because I don't want you to miss out on the info. Thank you so much for supporting me, and I'll see you in my next video.